Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will go ahead and call the March 14th Town Council meeting to order. And we will turn it over to Councilwoman Kimma Garden-Schmidt to lead us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
For those that would like to join us in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this town that you have given us. We thank you for our guidance and continued guidance and plans that we make for our town. We thank you for our citizens and the involvement that they have. Lord, I pray that you would keep them all safe from everything that's going around in our town, and keep our police officers safe, our fire department safe, Lord. I lift them up to you. I lift this time up to you, that you would give us the guidance to make the decisions for our town, the right things, Lord. And that you be with all of those that are abroad at this time out of our town, and bring them back safe. We pray these things now in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the boss.
Remy, can you come up?
Come on up. Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
How are you? So ladies and gentlemen, this is Remy Clark, and he works within our planning department. And if you've noticed, there's a lot going on around the town of Summerville that our planning department, which is a pretty small staff, has to tackle. And they do a fantastic job. But Remy has been here for about 2 years now, and has already created a reputation for getting things done, helping out the team when they're shorthanded. There was a period of time where there was, I guess, a person down in the planning office for a couple of weeks, and you picked up the extra workload and kept smiling and made sure that the citizens were served with excellence. And for that, we are recognizing you for your exceptional service here and how you take care of our citizens. So thank you so much. Okay.
All right, our first proclamation is for Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. Daphne and Samantha, if you can come up. Whereas bleeding disorders, which share the inability to form a proper blood clot, are characterized by extended bleeding after injury, surgery, or trauma, and can lead to significant morbidity and can be fatal if not treated effectively. And whereas this awareness month will generate greater awareness and understanding of not only hemophilia, but all inheritable bleeding disorders which affect millions of individuals around the world. And whereas this awareness month will bring light to the great scientific achievements in the treatment of bleeding disorders, for which there is no cure, and the greater pursuit of advanced therapies and cures to these disorders. And whereas the bleeding disorders community's relationship with policymakers have fostered numerous medical and policy advancements beneficial to all those affected by bleeding disorders and their loved ones. Now, therefore, Mayor Russ Touchberry and the Summerville Town Council do hereby proclaim the month of March as Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month, and hope that this awareness month will foster a greater sense of community and shared purpose among individuals with an inheritable bleeding disorder.
How appreciative I am of your bravery in carrying the flag for a cross section of our community. So thank you so much for your leadership. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Next, we have Women in Construction Week. Megan Holly. Whereas the Nawick Palmetto chapter has distinguished itself for 6 years as the voice of women in construction in Summerville, and whereas the work done by the Palmetto chapter has benefited Summerville through community development and educational programs, and whereas the Nawick Palmetto chapter has unceasingly promoted the employment and advancement of women in the construction industry, and whereas the construction community, represented by the Palmetto chapter, has been a driving force in fostering community development through renovation and beautification projects, promotion of skilled trades careers, and a positive vision of the future. And whereas the Nawick Palmetto chapter has sought to achieve successful results for Summerville and surrounding areas in a cooperative spirit with other organizations, now therefore Mayor Russ Touchberry and the Summerville Town Council do hereby proclaim the week of March 3rd through 9th, 2024 as Women in Construction Week and recognize the Nawick Palmetto chapter and its many dedicated volunteers for their steadfast work on behalf and support of women in construction.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you probably know that I'm a civil engineer and I've worked in the construction industry for over 22 years. And I will tell you, we do not have enough professionals to do the work that is in front of us, and the trends within our school system are not growing the STEM careers that we need to really meet the demand of our community and region. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Nawick and all of your members for what you do in our region to support construction, to support the communities as a whole. And I've worked with a lot of professionals who are female on the construction side, and we would be lost without them. So keep up the good work. Thank you so much.
Next, we have approval of minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for A, B, and C unless there's any amendments necessary.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Right, for public comment for items on the March 14th agenda, I just have one to read into the record, if that's okay. Okay. Mayor Touchberry and Summerville Town Council, on behalf of the Jewish community of the Lowcountry, I want to express our strong support of your proposed hate intimidation ordinance. It is tremendously important that our elected leaders take a strong stance on the issue of hate. Action or inaction on this issue sends a loud message to perpetrators and victims of hate crimes about the values of our municipalities and state. Too often, all of the work of combating hate falls upon us, the targeted communities themselves. In recent years, our Jewish community has witnessed an unprecedented rise in documented anti-Semitic incidents and crimes across South Carolina and our nation. Since the terror attack in Israel on October 7th and the ensuing war, anti-Semitism has skyrocketed. Lowcountry Jewish community members, some of whom survived the Holocaust, have been terrified at what has been unfolding in the place they feel most safe. Your action in opposition to hate reaffirms that Summerville and South Carolina are not welcome homes to hate. A few things we know about these ordinances. First, about 70% of hate crimes are nonviolent, so the municipal code covers a great many of them. Second, perpetrators of nonviolent hate crimes often face tickets and charges like littering or vandalism, so charges clarifying that the crime was hate intimidation, which appear on their record, do function as a deterrent. Third, these hate groups actively monitor municipal ordinances and avoid perpetrating their hate in the cities and with harsher charges and penalties. You are all likely to receive postcards or emails spewing hate, as the town council in Mount Pleasant received a few months ago when they passed their hate intimidation ordinances. Please don't allow them to intimidate you. As you do the right thing tonight by taking action to reject hate as a town, it is our hope that our state senators will be inspired by your actions. Towns and cities across South Carolina are passing similar ordinances, and it's long past time that our state follow in your footsteps. Thank you for reaffirming that Summerville is not a welcome home to hate of any kind, especially when that hate is acted upon against others in a way that violates the law. It confirms what we already know about our neighbors in our town, that Summerville is a great place for all to live and work. Thanks to each of you on behalf of the Jewish community, from Brandon Fish, the Director of Community Relations with the Charleston Jewish Federation.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that's all I have. For pending bills and resolutions, second and final reading of an ordinance to annex TMS number 13607020005, located at 1223 Central Avenue and totaling approximately 2 acres, currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential in Dorchester County, and will be zoned NB Neighborhood Business upon annexation into the town of Summerville's municipal limits, and this is in Council District 1.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion that we give second reading and final reading to this ordinance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Second and final reading of an ordinance to annex TMS number 14508000022, located at the end of West Smith Street and totaling approximately 13.5 acres, currently zoned TRM Transitional Residential in Dorchester County, and will be zoned MFR Multifamily Residential upon annexation into the town of Summerville's municipal limits, and this would be in Council District 3.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we postpone this until the August meeting.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to postpone till the August meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Second and final reading of an ordinance to amend Chapter 20, Article 6, Summerville Open for Business Program by amending sections 20-201, 202, 203, and 210, renumbering sections 20-210 and 211, deleting sections 20-204, 205, 206, 207, 208, and 209.
I'll make a motion that we pass this ordinance.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say for the record that this is actually a great program for Summerville small businesses. It does provide up to $2,500 for facade improvements and other improvements for your business. So this is actually a really good thing for the town.
Thank
Small
you.
businesses.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Second and final reading of an ordinance to rezone TMS number 13714090043, located at 114 Cesbordas Lane, totaling approximately 0.766 acres and owned by Mary and Raymond Van Dolen, from GR2 General Residential 2 units per acre to GR5 General Residential 5 units per acre, and this is in Council District 3.
Mr. Mayor, I move for approval of second reading.
All right, have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second for second and final reading. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Under introduction of bills and resolutions, first reading of an ordinance to amend the ordinance of the town of Summerville, Chapter 16, Article 1, by adding a new section 16 entitled Hate Intimidation.
I'll make a motion that we have first reading of this ordinance.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it.
First reading of an ordinance to grant unto Dorchester County, South Carolina, a permanent sewer easement across town property known as TMS 13010000066, located on Highway 78 in Summerville, South Carolina.
I'll make a motion that we approve this ordinance.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
First reading of an ordinance to grant unto Dorchester County, South Carolina, a permanent sewer easement across town property known as TMS 13010000047, located on Highway 78 in Summerville.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we give first reading to this.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
First reading of an ordinance to approve a property agreement with Gilbert and Lee Construction for a material laydown area on town property known as TMS 13706000001, located on Short Central Avenue.
I make a recommendation, we approve first reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
And I'm going to recuse myself from this.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Under miscellaneous, approval of site plan and buffers for 160 Community Road, Summerville Commissioners of Public Works Storage Yard. It's zoned public land. The Planning and Development Committee voted to move the item to full council with a recommendation for approval at their meeting on March 11th, 2024.
I'll make for approval of the, site plan.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of the site plan. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Authorize Chief Wright to enter into a mutual aid and law enforcement support agreement between the city of North Myrtle Beach and the Summerville Police Department for the North Myrtle Beach Bike Week in May 2024.
I'll make a motion, we approve that authority.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Authorize the town administrator to execute an agreement with the First Circuit Public Defender's Office to provide indigent defense services.
I'll make a motion that we authorize that authority.
Second.
All right, motion and a second.
And I would just ask for the public if we can expand on what this is for.
Certainly. Ms. Wallace.
Certainly. We had previously been under an agreement with the First Circuit Public Defender's Office to provide indigent public defender services. But that person that was employed was a part-time employee. And probably over the last several years, and particularly probably over the last year, that caseload has increased tremendously. So they have requested that now we fund a full-time position.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Continued discussion of the pilot program for yard debris pickup.
Good evening. As presented at the Public Works Committee meeting, does anybody have any questions about the pilot program?
I can't remember. Did you tell us about how much it would cost for one of those dumpsters?
The actual can or
Yeah,
the truck?
The can.
So they range from, depending on what size container you wanted to get, from a 45 gallon to a 95 gallon can, ranges anywhere from $45 to $155.
I'd like to make a motion that we table this until mid-year or till budget time.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion to table until our budget retreat in April. Is that properly?
Be a motion to postpone until a certain time.
Right.
Okay,
Fine.
so a motion to postpone is what I heard then.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
We good?
Thank you for being here. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. And Mark is wondering why he came all the way here for that. We just wanted you at a council meeting, Mark. Thank you so much for
That
coming.
smiling face.
For public comment, Linda Wetzel.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Mr. Brown, for attending our Black History program on the end of February. I'm here to get respect from our police department. On March the 9th, I accidentally locked my keys in my car and my telephone. I asked assistance from a policeman. I didn't get any help. 3 hours Saturday night in the dark, I had to walk from West First North Street to 78 to get my daughter at her job to try to get a ride or somebody to pick me up. I asked the officer to please go to my house, which was 108 Atlantic Street. I don't do courtesy rides. The first response was when I told him I locked my car, keys in the car, call a blacksmith. How do you call a blacksmith? Or I'm not a blacksmith, I mean a locksmith when you don't have a telephone or anything to do. This is, you're supposed to respect, to protect and serve. I was not given that opportunity because I was so scared. It had rained all night, all morning that morning. And I was standing, walking side of the road with cars flashing by, keeping from getting hit. I said, if I had to jump in the ditch, I had to jump in the ditch. I've also asked about speed bumps on Atlantic Street. You've got 4 three-way stop signs on Carolina. Those people that live down the end of our road are speed demons. And by the time I'm backing out of my driveway, they're closely on me. We need speed bumps. I've asked for the police to come down there. They don't come. I've seen drug deals, not on Atlantic Street, on Simmons and Parkwood Drive. I had to walk my sister dog several times. And why should I talk to a policeman when they don't listen to you? And I mean drug deals. The guy would pull up, give the guy the drugs and pull on off. And that's on Simmons Avenue and Parkwood Drive. That park is a dangerous, you think Wassamassaw is bad? You should look at the park on that street. Drug deals in a residential area, fine houses and everything. And I've seen it more than 4 times because I had to walk Leo every morning and they were in the park. All I ask for is respect. When somebody talk to you or call your councilman or you talk to your policeman or your police chief and tell you something, believe it. Believe it from me. Because if I say go left, he'll go right. They don't listen. And this is ridiculous. My fear Saturday night, I could have lost my life and my family would have never known what happened to me because I locked my key in the car. Somebody got to do something. The respect. I know I'm Black. Even when a young boy yesterday when I was at McAllister's restaurant, I opened the door for him and he looked at me and backed up. Racism is real in South Carolina. It's all over. And I'm sick and tired of being treated like a less than citizen because of the color of my skin. You got basketball fields, courts on one side of town. You took everything off over there by Austin. All these committees, all these parks. We don't need all these parks for dogs. And we don't need a park you have to pay $2 to fish, to throw the fish back in. Whereas who's making all these decisions? This is ridiculous. Respect. Think about your mother or your sister or your daughter walking side the road, 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock on a Saturday night after the rain.
Cynthia Powell.
Mr. Cynthia, you got something? Let me say something about this case, please. I'm chairman of public safety, as many of you know, and I have high regard for our police department. But I am disappointed that no high-ranking official or the chief did not contact this lady to see what was really happening. I understand that she filed a complaint with the police department, and which gives her side of the picture. I think it's very important that a high-ranking official or the chief contact her with their side so that we can see the full picture of what happened. I see John O'Meara is here. Would you like to speak, John? I'd love to have you speak.
Councilman Brown, the complaint has been received and is being investigated by Office of Professional Standards on behalf of Ms. Woodson.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No,
Cindy.
thank you, Councilman. And I think, Ms. Wetzel, I just want to thank you for sharing that, but also thank you for following the process. Our citizens have rights and equal rights within our town. And when something happens like that, I appreciate you following the process, filing a complaint and bringing it to our attention so that it can be addressed by the command staff. Thank you, who I also have great confidence in as well. Ms. Powell.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Powell, and I'm here to speak on two topics. I hope I'm not violating one of those up there. I'm a resident of Summerville, South Carolina for 60 plus years, and I'm reading so that I don't go off script and end up in another area. I'm a retired teacher with 37 years, full-time teacher 34, which I spent here in DD2. After 1 year of retirement, I returned to the classroom as a sub until COVID. In 2022, I successfully ran for a seat on the DD2 school board. And as a result of my run on the school board, there were 4 areas I wanted to focus on. And one of the groups were students, educators, parents, and community members. And that would be all of us. This evening, I am not standing as a school board member. I am a member of this community that know the academic family cannot do the job that we do as educators alone. We need you, the entire community, to stand with us. Major areas by which you can support us include, but it's not limited to, working with the DD2 Education Foundation, which is led by Mr. Ralph Hayes, who writes grants, hold fundraisers to assist teachers, students, academic clubs with financial assistance in providing for our Teacher of the Year recognition, funding for our various local and travel competition teams within our schools and clubs, first year teaching, providing money for them to set up their initial classrooms, various funding any member requests to assist them with the artistic and academic programs that our students participate in. Presently, this particular foundation this year has provided and given back to our district around $300,000 in fundraising that they've done. They've given a total of $1.8 million that does not include the $300,000 to date to DD2's academic success and for the family. Now, on April 13th of this year, which is a Saturday, we're going to have the big event. The big event, how many of you have been to the big event? Anybody? You need to talk to them about the big event. Okay, the big event, the first time I went on it, I was a member of the board, and it is phenomenal. Mr. Hayes has gone out and gotten businesses to give all types of donation, travel clubs, etc. And you have the opportunity to participate in a live as well as a silent auction. And from that, we raised some of that $300,000 that we had last, the beginning of this particular school year to work with. The tickets are $125 per person. Remember, it's a fundraiser. And we have great music, great fun, photo booth, etc. You can find your tickets on the dd2.org line and just go to the hyperlink, or you can go directly to the foundation, dd2foundation.org. And so we're asking you to please support this fundraiser this year. Now, the other thing is, Mr. Hayes the foundation is being recognized as a charity organization, and they have been nominated. So we ask that you vote in the posting Courier, not the posting Courier, the Journal Seniors. It's called the Reader's Choice Award. We ask that you basically participate and vote for our particular foundation. The last thing, the first week in May. Who knows what happens the first week in May? No, something else. My time is running. Okay, that's where we get to celebrate teachers. And we don't have the foundation financially to support our teachers like our surrounding district. And we have teachers that are leaving, great teachers. If you're in real estate, you use DD2 as part of your promotion to get people to buy here. So we need the entire town to help us let these teachers know how much they're appreciated. I envision big banners in the window front of our businesses. I envision digital boards all across town where you have the flashing sign, how much you appreciate our teachers. I envision businesses offering discounts to teachers. Now we have 26 schools. You are very creative. So we're asking our businesses, our town council, and anyone that cares about the education of our children, who hopefully will come back one day and continue to make us grow.
We appreciate your efforts to help our students, support our teachers, and support the district.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Adrian Quist.
Good evening, Mayor Touchberry and members of Town Council. My name is Adrian Quist, and I'm a resident of Summerville for 59 years now. I think most of you already know that. I'm here tonight to get an update on the redevelopment of North Main Street. I have not been able to come to the last several meetings, but I do recall one of the last meetings that Mayor Ricky Waring said that to have the redevelopment approved or disapproved, it would be up to the bar committee to make that decision. And I'm here tonight hoping that you're willing to give me an update what the status is on that decision and when it may take place. I have not seen nothing in the paper, didn't hear nothing on the news, and I hope it's not being shoved under the rug, because it's very important that the people of Summerville know what's going to happen to that redevelopment issue. So I'm hoping you can give us an update as to what maybe when it's going to be decided on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. What I know is at this point in time, I'm not aware of a formal submittal being submitted to the town on the redevelopment. I understand that the county, you're talking about 500 North Main, the development at 500 North Main, that the county intends to sell the property, and I'm not sure if that is closed yet, but we don't have anything formally submitted to the town to start our processes. Yes, sir.
I'm hoping.
And it will go to the bar and follow the same process as anyone in the historic district of our town.
Okay. I am hoping that something can be put in the newspaper just to give the update what you're talking about. Because for a while it was all top of the news, but nobody's talking about it anymore, and nobody seemed to know anything about it. So I'm
That's
hoping
because campaign season was over. So now we follow the process.
okay, but there again, I'm concerned about it, and I think a lot of other people are concerned about it. So they can put something in the paper to give us an update in the newspaper, so everybody will know. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for public comment. Executive session?
Mayor, I move we enter into executive session to discuss personnel matters related to the building department.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to go into executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.